Greetings, greetings, and um, I am Rashia Lynn Harmon'El. If you do not know by now, I am the JurisConsul of the Aboriginal Tribal Sui Jure Courts. And our nation has been dealing with a lot of issues, but the most imminent issue that we have been dealing with is the issue involving the asset at 1361 South 46th Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the unlawful eviction that occurred on October 6, 2021 at 9 o'clock a.m. Okay, this asset is a private land that is owned by the trust, which is the property of the nation. It is under the protection of the nation, and as the nation, we are indigenous, and a lot of us, we are, we wear several hats. We are getting ourselves together in terms of being able to be able to operate 100% as a nation on a global scale. However, we have found that we have been encountering major obstacles by the United States, of course, and their subsidiary commonwealths or states. And so with that, this is just an update, I guess, regarding some of the issues pertaining to that incident that occurred. And so I'm actually going to begin by opening up with the prayer that I felt was necessary for me to repeat on the day that this was happening. It is a prayer from the book of Psalms 49. I have mentioned in the past that, and when I say in the past, I've mentioned in other videos. My apologies that this is a prayer, a recitation of the prayer that I continued to meditate on as the events were unfolding that day, and also while I was in captivity. If you are unaware of what transpired, you can go back and watch previous videos regarding that. I have there are actually interviews that have been conducted regarding that situation, that event that occurred on October 6, 2021 at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm going to begin. This is not going to be a long video. It is Monday here, and I am running behind on a lot of matters. There are documents and issues there are documents that have to be reviewed, and there are meetings and other matters that have to be addressed. And I wanted to take the time to spend some time with you for a little bit, and just to reflect on some things, because right now I know a lot of people are going through a lot of things. There's a lot that is happening, and we are definitely living in times where there has been a substantial increase in crime. There has been a substantial increase in just wickedness, and people engaging in notorious and abominable acts. And so I thought about, as I sat here thinking about some of the conversations that I have been having with some individuals who play a significant part in my life now, I just thought about Psalms 49 and how this has become a Psalms that I meditate on quite often. And when I meditate on it, it relaxes me. It allows for my mind to come into focus, and for me to be able to prioritize matters despite the fact that there may be a lot of crazy, a lot of chaos taking place around me, in my space, what have you. And that's whether it's coming from the outside, meaning outsiders, external, or inside my space, and then of course inside of me. Okay, so let us begin so that we may get through this, and we can continue with our day, because we, as the children of Yah who are working, we must give our time and consideration to Yah, and we also are to be productive individuals, taking care of our temple, taking care of our home, taking care of our people, doing the work that Yah wants us to do, okay, that Yah is expecting for us to do, and while we are here, while there is breath in us. And so I will begin with Psalm 49, and we'll go from there. Hear this, all ye people, give ear, okay, all ye inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor, together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about? They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitudes of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Elohim a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceases forever, that he should still live forever and not see corruption. For he sees that wise men die. Likewise, the fool and the brutish person perish and leave their wealth to others. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, in their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man being in honor abides not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their saying. Selah. Like sheep, they are laid in Sheol. Death shall feed on them. And the Yasharim shall have dominion over them in the morning. And their beauty shall consume in Sheol from their dwelling. But Elohim will redeem my soul. Elohim will redeem my soul from the power of Sheol, for he shall receive me. Selah. Be not afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dies, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him, though while he lived he blessed his soul. And men will praise you when you do well to yourself. Great job. Great job. Oh, look at everything you have acquired. Oh, you are so successful. Oh, look at all of these things you have been able to accomplish. Oh, all the money you must be making. He shall go to the generation of his fathers. They shall never see light. Man that is in honor and understands not is like the beasts that perish. Knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beasts that perish. That is the title of this video. Knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beasts that perish. That is Psalms 49. That is the mantra that I have repeated. That is the Psalms 49, verse 20. I'm reading from the Sefer, and the Sefer has the interpretations are a little different from perhaps your King James version or any other version that you yourself may go into. However, the gist of the message, it deals with people who think or present themselves to have honor through knowledge and wisdom. However, the things that we chase after or we call ourselves honoring while we are here in this plane, things that we once we leave can't even go with us. Everything that I have on, okay, none of this can go with me. And so as the events were unfolding on October 6, 2021, I could hear, the conversation that was taking place with some of the sheriffs, and they were talking about me. Oh, she's praying. Oh yeah, I'm praying. Oh, I was definitely praying. Having a conversation between Yah and myself. And with everything that they were doing, they were there to rob and steal and even kill over property. Okay, these are things No one can, debate this. None of this, these things, this stuff can go with you. When you leave, Yah takes you. This temple stays, okay? Everything that you have acquired throughout your entire existence stays right here. It stays right here. You take nothing with you. And so the way that people act while they are here in order to acquire things, right? It is an expression through their actions that they lack a deep understanding of what is truly important. Truly important. And so on that October 6, 2021 day, when that event occurred, I started to have a conversation with Yah, and I said, if this is your will, then thy will be done. Okay? Because our understanding is not Yah's understanding at all. It just isn't. And just because people may have a momentary success, or you may look at it as being like a momentary setback or failure, that sometimes in order for you to move forward, sometimes in order for Yah to bless you, right? Some things have to be moved out the way. Some things have to be taken from you, if you want to look at it that way. Some things have to be taken from you to open your eyes so that you can realize some things. We have, I want to apologize. We have some work that's taken place at one of our assets that they, like I keep saying, that they have not taken, okay? Because yes, they have been after us. They have been attempting to prevent us from moving forward. Why that is, like we said, truth frightens people. Knowledge frightens people. Okay? When you know who you are and whose you are, that frightens people. People want to attack you. They want to harm you, physically harm you, just because of what you know. Just because your knowledge and the information that you have goes against whatever belief or agenda it is that they have. Okay? It infuriates them. Infuriates. And so this mantra, Psalms 49, very, very important. Very powerful. Very extremely powerful. As a, it's amazing how, it can be very extremely quiet. Nothing is happening. Even the work that's been done here to to renovate, to improve this particular asset, it was quiet. And then as soon as I was ready to come and to go live and to give this, all of the noise started. Noise outside, noise in here, but that's okay, because it's about the message. As long as I can get the message to you, then that is all that matters. Knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beasts that perish. And on that day, I meditated on that and just kept repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And when I was on the inside at the detention center, because that's where they sent me, there was no other place where they sent me. I was informed that that's not usually the process like how they process individuals. But guess what? We are living in times where, lawlessness is what is the law. Lawlessness is the law, their law. And so knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beast that perishes. Doesn't matter how much you know. As it indicated, even the wise man dies. Those who have knowledge, they die also. All of those individuals who were present and who stated out of their mouths that they did not care, the only thing that mattered to them was for them to do damage to us. That is, we are here to do damage. That was their mantra. My mantra was knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beasts that perish. And so, in closing, okay, since that was supposed to be an eviction, okay, and allegedly when they arrived, even though they didn't provide us with any evidence that they were actually there legally, okay, I'm going to share with you. Remember, we're about the laws, okay? I don't just know our nation's laws, okay? My concentration in law school was international law. I have lived abroad and traveled in other countries and studied other nations' laws, okay? What I do on behalf of the nation is I take my knowledge, my education, my skills, okay, and I apply it to my position here on behalf of the nation. But knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beast that perishes. Meditate on that, because I meditate on it a lot. I have conversations and discussions with Yah about it constantly. I ask Yah to imbue me with the understanding that I need in order for me to be able to take the knowledge, the information, the skills that I have, to turn it into wisdom, and then to also be able to understand what is happening. At the moment, things are happening, even though there may be massive chaos. Massive chaos. What I have here with me, and I found this, just so happened to find it, okay? Amongst my office items. See, things had been kind of shaken up. I had my office over at the Asset 1361 South 46th Street, one of my offices. And, now that my grandmother and my mother and a lot of the property, the property, the chattel that was there is now here, and we're in the middle of making improvements and renovating and just really working to keep things together, to keep things in balance. All right. With things in such disarray, meaning even trying to reorganize my files and and other things that were upset, I came across this. This is a notice of pending eviction and/or sheriff sale mandated by the court. Again, who is the court? I am the Sui Yore court, okay? You see me. I'm a living, breathing Yah breathed the breath of life in me. Being. My appellation, my indigenous appellation is Silver Moon. My appellation that I hold out to the world when I operate is Rashia Lynn Harmon'El. That is who I am now. In the past, you may have known me by when I was operating with the Moorish Science Temple as Arlen Hatchesap Ma'at Koreel. Okay? But I am who I am. And whenever I am operating in my capacity, I always use a wet signature. Always. There's a wet signature. You know that there is a living being. Someone who comes from the earth. A natural being who you are dealing with. As an aboriginal, indigenous, living being, I operate naturally. Because it only even before I knew, I woke up to what was happening. I know it's only natural within me that I operate as a natural being. Why would I send documents out? No title, no signature, and then expect for people to follow that document? Not only is that arrogance, but how are you able to even verify who the document is from? Especially in this age of high crime, high fraud, high corruption. How do you know who you're dealing with? It is a wonder. It is a wonder that we have so much identity theft that is taking place. We have so many, other people. You have people who are committing fraudulent activities because they see the negligence with which other agents who are operating on behalf of these agencies that are actually supposed to be taking care of the populace, how they are just reckless. They are reckless, extremely reckless, with all of the information that they demand from you. They're not thinking about your security. They operate and they cause high security breaches because of how they're operating. You're sending out documents and you're communicating and there's no signature on documents that's coming to you through the mail. But yet you respond. There's no wet signature. So then you call to inquire about what it is that you receive. How do you even know that you're even talking to the legitimate entity? The legitimate entity's agents. Because again, entities and courts without a face or signature, how do you even know that they're legitimate? However, they want to question our legitimacy when we existed before they did. We, and I do say we because we were a nation. There were nations here before the United States was established and created. They relied on our nationhood, our nation status, to assist them with receiving theirs. And in return, this is how we get treated. This is real talk, okay? And I'm talking about international global issues. Okay, because what I'm realizing from having conversations with the average people is that they have no idea. They have no clue what is happening on an international level. And everything that we do, it is international, even though they may say, oh, well, this is domestic and this is that. On an international level, everything that the United States does, if it involves indigenous peoples, it's international. It is not a domestic issue, despite the fact that we may be sharing the same space. I hope that I am clear on that. Now, getting back to the focus of this particular video, knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beast that perishes. Inside is information and list of services that may be helpful. Let's go inside. You should know. Okay? You should know. You should know. You should know that you can only be evicted by a deputy sheriff from the office of the sheriff of Philadelphia City and County, or a court-designated entity. You cannot be forced to leave the property by the new owner. You should know. Number 2, you should know. After a common pleas court writ of possession has been served, you have 21 days before you can be evicted. After 21 days, you may be locked out, or you may be physically escorted from the property. However, no one has the right to place your belongings on the street. The new owner of the property must take your belongings to a storage facility or to a destination of your choice within the city limits. However, if this eviction action is a result of findings in landlord-tenant court, which is an extremely corrupt court here in the city of Philadelphia, they got rid of traffic court. But there remains other deeply entrenched, corrupt courts that are affiliated, linked, spiderwebbed together. They're all connected. All of them. They act like when they find corruption in one that it was just over there. It's called a system. It is called a system. If this eviction action is a result of findings in landlord-tenant court, remind you, this is under you should know. This is number 3 of you should know. Your belongings will not be moved. You will be locked out, but your belongings will remain in the building. At this point, you can make arrangements with the landlord to remove your things. After 10 days, you can be charged for storage and handling of your belongings. You should know. Put it up there. This is under you should know. My personal experiences with this corrupt and wicked system operated by these agents, these corrupt and wicked agents in the city of Philadelphia. The city of Philadelphia that bombs, that has no problem bombing and killing indigenous peoples, okay? The city of Philadelphia that has no problem coming in and stating out of their own mouths that we are here to do damage regarding an eviction. Now you read this, you should know. These are your rights that they're telling you that you have. It doesn't say these are your rights, but they're telling you this is what you should know because based upon the Constitution and the laws of Pennsylvania, This is what you're entitled to, even if the city or whomever has a claim, a law, in their minds, even if it is a legitimate, even if they have the authority to do what they're doing, they still do not have the authority to violate your rights. They still do not have the authority to steal your property. The Philadelphia Sheriff's Department, along with the police, the Philadelphia Police Department, as well as other individuals who were present, including the alleged new owner or owners, they were present. All of these people were present. There were, there were some, pirates standing in the back, just waiting to go in and collect the booty and prize. And so, while this unlawful eviction did happen, despite the fact it was an unlawful eviction, even with them coming under the guise of them lawfully being present, there were rules they were supposed to follow. Everyone who witnessed what transpired on October 6th, 2021 at 9 o'clock in the morning, all of the neighbors and people who came down to observe and watch as if it was a reality show, you saw what happened. And not only did you see what happened on that day, you also saw how they took property inventory, because we told you, this is a court, all right? I have been operating and functioning in a capacity, working under and working as the JC, as well as working as the JC, as well as the advocate, the chief operating officer of the Indigenous National Law Center. It's our responsibility, my responsibility, to make sure that either I designated someone to keep track of our assets and to keep track of our inventory, or that I was the individual who was to do this. Okay? I told you we wear several hats. This is what happens when you are rebuilding a nation that has been destroyed by another nation. The rebuilding process, especially when you do not have any assistance by anyone and they have taken all of your resources, and anything that you try to acquire, they take. It's going to take time. But that doesn't mean that we give up. Getting back to the law, okay? And your rights, our rights. I have not even gone into how many treaties they have violated, how they have violated, our human rights, how they have violated our alleged civil rights, how they have violated our constitutional rights. This is just general local laws that protect you from the brutality with which they approached and dealt with nationals, Aboriginal Indigenous nationals, regarding our private asset 1361 South 46th Street, because they wanted to dispossess us of our private asset and give it to a colonial operative. That colonial operative being an attorney, a real estate attorney, and his hired gun, or guns and goons. It specifically says here what was supposed to happen. Everything that it says here was not supposed to happen. You should know these things should not happen. This is what should happen, and this is how it should go about. They went against this. And this is a document that came from the office of the sheriff. So if this came from the office of the sheriff, then who were those individuals who arrived? You can't tell me that they were agents, because what they put in writing tells you what they cannot do, and yet when they arrived, they did something completely opposite of what they themselves are telling you that they could not do. Yah is not the orchestrator of confusion. He is not the orchestrator of confusion. His laws are very clear. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. It's very clear. Very clear. Very clear. There is no, well, Your Honor, but the interpretation based upon, there's no ambiguity. No ambiguity. So I just wanted to come on as the JurisConsul, because I am working right now, and I actually have, like I said, I have to get to work. Did not want this video to be too long. Didn't want it to be long. But when you are sharing information, when you are edifying people, okay, sometimes it takes a little time. There's research that you have to do, and that takes time, because people, when you're dealing with the truth, people have a hard time believing the truth speakers. And that is because the liars have been so loud and so consistent with their lies, that when truth enters the room, everyone wants to question truth when they should be questioning the lies. No one is questioning the corruption. No one is questioning the lies. But we're going to speak, since we are here, we have the air of Yah. Yes, Yah is here. We are going to change our language, and we are going to say, you know what? No longer will people ignore the truth. No longer will lies prevail. No longer will corruption prevail. No longer will the city of Philadelphia, through its corrupt and wicked agents, prevail. Anything that they do will actually turn around. It will turn around, and it will work against them. And it will actually, whatever wrongs they commit against whomever it is they commit these wrongs, that will actually work in the favor of the wrong individuals. Okay? So we put it out there, and then we're just putting it out there, because knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beast that perishes. We must understand what is happening. What is Yah's understanding? Because our understanding is not his understanding. How he operates and the moves that he makes, they may not be how we operate, and his moves may not be the moves that we would make. But Yah is omnipotent, and Yah says, vengeance is mine. That's what he says. And so I end this message of knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beasts that perish. Ask Pharaoh. When Moses went, what happened to Pharaoh? Look at all the people Pharaoh got killed who were following him blindly. Okay? No matter what, Pharaoh refused to follow Yah's laws. He refused. But Yah said, that's because I am going to harden Pharaoh's heart. I'm going to harden his heart. Well, guess what? Perhaps today, my nose is running. Perhaps today, on that date, October 6th, 2021, at 9 o'clock in the morning, everyone who appeared, all the tactical team and the tactical helicopters and, the hired goons and, and the real estate attorney along with, his barking chihuahua woman. Hardened hearts. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Things are not as they appear. Look behind the curtain. Look behind the curtain. Look behind the curtain. See what is really going on. Understand what is truly happening. And so, Avaya, I personally extend my thank yous to you, because with every assault that the enemy has thrown my way, I have received a heightened level of understanding. Knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beast that perish. Psalms 49, verse 20. But read the whole Psalms, because there is a very significant message in the entire Psalms. Knowledge and wisdom without understanding is like the beast that perish. Enjoy your day, and thank you.